Yeah, where's your microphone, Sam? See, like
right where I wanted
we've gotten
it.
used to Luds doing it, but when Sam's doing it, we've got a problem.
We have more super chats than we have hosts on mic right now.
That's awesome. Is that including the one we owe Ardell, or is that not?
That's not including the
Okay.
one that we owe Ardell.
How many of them are angry?
Angry?
The better question would be how many of them are over $50?
Is it more than one?
It is more than 0.5.
Okay.
If it were to be a sleeper.
Good sleeper drop.
Hit us up. This is the DLS Dallas Stars post-game show. If you want us to get to the Super Chats earlier than usual, fire them away. Maybe we'll do that. Stars win in Vegas, but a little bit of a tarnished result. Take the 2 points, but a huge injury to talk about right here on DLLS.
Get ready, boys.
Let's win.
Las Vegas. That means more Vegas. This is the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show. After a 4-3 overtime win over the Vegas Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena tonight, Stars come from 3-1 down on a Wyatt Johnston natural hat trick, and they win the game. But they lose Miro Heiskanen during the third period to injury. We don't know his status yet. We probably won't hear anything after the game. I would imagine we won't hear anything until at least Thursday since the team is off tomorrow. So we will have to sit and wait to find out more on one of the more important Dallas Stars players on the roster. Alongside Craig Ludwig, Sam Nessler, and our producer from Boston, John Anderson.
From Boston.
I'm Owen Newkirk. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right to it. Luds, big win, big comeback. However, I think everybody's thinking about Miro Heiskanen right now.
Hard not to. Yeah. I mean, I know it's because it's markstone. Everybody's going to think it's intentional. I'm not in that camp. But, yeah, it's a guy that you lean on 26, 27 minutes a night, plays in everything but penalty killing. And it's a tough one. And now we're going to, we'll wait and see what it is. And hopefully it's nothing. It looked, we all are kind of sitting here going, it doesn't look very good. But you know what? These guys are in great condition. And hopefully it's something minor, if it's anything of significance at all. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed for now. But that would be a big blow for Dallas.
John, do you have the still shots of the Miro Heiskanen injury? I think we should probably just go right to that. It is the lead story aside from Wyatt's heroics and the hat trick in the winter. Here's Miro. Rope hints there is contact with Hintz's stick in the left skate of Mark Stone. He pivots. You can see him trying to lean towards that left side, and he falls right into the knee and buckles. You can see the bend right there, Luds. That's the angle. What we all know, that's not a natural motion for a knee joint. And he immediately went down grabbing that left knee.
Yeah, they're going to throw on ACL, MCL, and all that other kind of stuff. And when it bends in like that, it's not supposed to, And Stone's 6'3", 230-some pounds.
He's a big guy.
He's a big guy that comes down on him. And I don't know if with the stick and the skate really had much to do with it. I do think he was probably just initially trying to dive for the puck. And, the guy doesn't quit on any plays. But like I said, because it's Mark Stone, everybody's going to insinuate that it was intentional, and I don't believe it was.
No, I don't think it was intentional. I think what you just said was perfect. It's a guy who makes weird plays like that. He doesn't give up. He works hard for every inch of the ice. It's probably a combination of the stick throwing him off maybe a little bit as he's going towards Miro, and then he still tries to. It's stupid, is what it is. You in that moment, you should realize. If he does trip him up at all, you realize where my body's headed, and you don't dive towards their legs. It's not intentional. I just think it's stupid. So as we said.
It's really clumsy. It's awkward. Yeah. It is a guy that's singularly focused on trying to make a play, which is part of what makes him such a very effective defensive forward and a problem. But in this case, an injury is involved, and that's why it makes it a little bit harder to take. That being said, on the flip side, Luds, the Stars were able to rally from a 2-goal deficit, and Wyatt Johnston scored 3 consecutive goals. He got a shorty. He got an overtime winner. He becomes the first player in North Stars franchise history to record a hat trick, which included a shorthanded goal and an overtime winning tally, and the 8th player on record to do it. The last was Elias Lindholm, who pulled it off in 2021. Wow. He also is just the 6th player in franchise history to complete a hat trick with an overtime winning goal. The last was Rope Hintz, December 29th, 2023. And I could keep going. There's more. He's the youngest player in franchise history to score a natural hat trick. 21 years, 259 days. Tyler Seguin was about 50 days older when he did it back in 2013. This kid's special.
Are you done?
I'm done.
For now, that's it?
I mean, I can come up with more if you'd like.
You've got more?
I probably do.
Well,
and he should be on Team Canada.
I'll just put a period on it. He's not done yet. He's just getting started. I had said after the game the other night and coming into the game tonight that I thought this was going to be an important game. The way that the last time that these guys played, Oettinger made a big couple saves at the end of the game. I thought that was a statement that Jake made, and I thought that this would be an important game moving forward. And I really believe it is now. I mean, to be able to go into that building, not an easy place to win. They're a better team at home. A lot of teams are. But to be trailing to that team, I thought Vegas almost looked like they took their foot off the gas a little bit in the third period and were going to try to milk this one away. But, and I'm not trying to downplay Wyatt, but I think from a team standpoint now, right at this moment, this can carry over should they happen to meet again, knowing that they can go into that building, play that way. And then, this when it's Hintz and Wyatt that are doing all this. I mean, I thought we were wondering what happened with Hintz at the beginning of the game. Sam said, he only played 4 minutes tonight.
First period, he played 4.5 minutes, and I barely noticed it.
Yeah, it was. At all. And it's funny, as the game went along, the big guys, you're kind of, I didn't see that guy. I haven't noticed that guy. And, they did enough to get it done and get through that. But then when Rupe started skating, and that's his thing, and, leading to, what Wyatt did tonight. But with Hintz, when he's wants to skate like that, he backs people off, as I said. And right now, him and Wyatt have this little thing going on. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of conversation. Who's going to be at whatever point, are they going to put somebody else over there or keep it the way it is? But for right now, you don't, Sam, you could probably play over there right now.
Hey, I'll take it.
I will. The puck out.
I'll chip it out right to the other
boards.
I think it's even funnier that pass came from you of all the plays that could have happened. One thing that
it is Wednesday now, right?
One thing that stands out to me, and this
Sam really wanted me to say to everybody, "Happy Wednesday."
I just thought it was funny watching the clock turn into Wednesday, but we'll get used to it
with
this California
trip
next
week.
I know, but we'll be in our own homes. Well, I'll be in your home. You just don't know it yet. But Wyatt Johnston,
the 5th creepy thing he said.
Wyatt Johnston,
it's the 5th thing at least that he said during the course of the evening.
Is he going to be bunking with you?
No.
Oh.
But he said 4 or 5 things tonight where I've been, huh? And I can't tell if he's intentionally trying to be funny or if he just saw the squirrel.
Punch drunk and tired?
Yeah. It could be that. Hey, go ahead, Sam.
I don't know what I was talking about.
See, we distracted him already. Well, let's keep talking about this. We'll get to the recap in a minute. It doesn't look good for Miro Heiskanen. We don't know anything yet. We'll find out more probably in a couple of days. But let's presume that he is not going to play against the Vancouver Canucks, and hopefully it's not as serious as it looks. How do you reshuffle this deck? We were talking about on our show yesterday about how you add to the group at the trade deadline. Now you have to try to reshuffle in the short term with the players that you have without Heiskanen. What does that look like to you?
I mean, I think you can keep. I think you're going to put Essa with Lundqvist, and I think you keep Harley and Labuschagne together, and then you've got Matt Dumba and you've got Brendan Smith. and you got Bichel. Whoever you want to go, you're fine. And again, this is why when I talk about playoffs all the time, you need to have 7, 8, 9 defensemen around because of little things like this. And you like to see these guys play with different partners during the course of the year because, I mean, the last thing you want is one of your top defensemen in the NHL going down. But if you're going to win championships, you got to overcome things like this. A lot of teams can't. But, you know, again, Miro's going to be back way before that. I'm not too concerned about that. Come on in. So anyway, you have to get, I mean, you just have to adapt. You have to adjust and adapt, and they'll have to do that in the short term if it's anything serious.
The top 3 as far as the usage has been Miro, Harley, and Lindell.
Yep.
Who's the first? I mean, obviously Harley's going to get more opportunities. We saw Lindell get power play time. Lyubushkin, I would imagine, would be the next guy there.
Yeah.
Is this a good time to see what Bichel has, or is it more of a let's ease him into that?
I mean, you're going to have to because they're going to need him. I mean, we don't know the situation with Miro, but if it's longer than, you know, a couple games, you're going to need him. I wonder the options, like Luz was just saying, you do have Brendan Smith. I wonder if that becomes an option to move him back to the back end and call up a forward. They have options out there, but we were just saying Bichel hasn't done anything necessarily wrong.
Nope.
But I think we were, maybe unfairly, but we were expecting a little more as well. And I think that's what the team should be expecting right now at this point.
Yeah, I think we're, from the way he started, and I'm not talking about the goal or anything like that, but it was like he was a presence. He was a presence around the front of the net. He was a presence on the wall. He always had a couple big hits. So I just think he's in that. I think he's in the mode where he just wants to be able to stay here. He doesn't want to make any big mistakes. And again, I think it's okay for what he's doing right now, because what'll happen is Elaine or Pete or somebody will say, okay, we need you to do more. We need you to do more. You know, instead of having to pull a player back, you can push him forward and say, hey, everything that you're doing now, we want you to get a little bit more involved, you know, offensively, like he did right in the beginning. He jumped up in a couple plays. So, and I'll be honest with you, I've liked Brendan Smith. I mean, tonight again, he had 3 shots on goal. He had 4 hits. You know, he does what he's supposed to do up there. I know he's not going to go and light anything up, but you know, you can use him out there, and it looks like, you know, you don't have any worries. I mean, it's always nice when a defenseman can play up there, because they're more defensive minded. They want to be in the right place, and a lot of times the other night we saw him playing forward and he was breaking somebody up behind his own net. So, you know, that we're kind of weighted that way, and he can keep up, and you know, again, he's not going to score 20 goals to the end of the year, but he's just going to do his little piece.
Would you guys like to hear what Mark Stone had to say about the incident? According to Jesse Granger, who writes, it covers the Golden Knights for The Athletic, Mark Stone said the following after the game, quote, I go to reach to try and angle him out, and I'm not sure who it was that tripped me, and I fell forward. You never want to see guys get hurt, and I hope he's all right. I was trying to make a play and got tripped into him.
And that's fair. I mean, because we got a shot of him looking at the iPad on the bench. It's now that you see that there was a stick there, you can say you got tripped, because you can't tell anything but that.
Right.
So whether he did or not, and I got to take him for his word. I mean, again, the guy's not out there to injure anybody.
No,
I think,
but it doesn't mean, again, I mean, we keep saying it. It's intentional is very different than just being stupid or sloppy or clumsy, and that's
reckless.
You watch the play over and over again. You're an NHL player, just like how Bichel's tripped that guy down the wing. If you can't stay on your skates when a guy touches your shin guard with one hand on his stick, you shouldn't be in the NHL. If you're Mark Stone and that play and hints his tiny little poke to the front of your stick somehow makes you go to your left, diving in front of the player.
I
think an effort play. It's not intentional, but
I think he would be the guy that doesn't give up on a play, and he was going to dive regardless because of the way that Miro can cut. You know, we can see Miro. He can turn on a dime, right? He can change his angle on a dime. And I think that Stone may have thought he was coming. He could have more of a direct impact on him. And then when Miro cuts to his right, Stone's going to kind of lunge a little bit to try to get stick on him. And then I think a combination of things happen.
We will get to all of your super chats. We will do what we can with our recap and keep this thing flying along. 2 big storylines. Stars beat Vegas on a Wyatt Johnston natural hat trick in overtime to finish it off. And they lose Miro Heiskanen into a third period knee injury that could very well be serious. We don't know, and we probably won't know for at least another day or so. Right here on the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show.
Rugged Road is dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Our products are crafted and designed with the highest quality materials, ensuring they perform in the toughest conditions. Whether you're on land or water, Rugged Road gear is built to accompany you on every adventure. Crafted to handle the toughest environments, our coolers are built to last, ensuring they can keep up with any adventure. The coolers are guaranteed to keep their contents cool for up to 7 days. Perfect for a variety of outdoor activities, from fishing and tubing to camping and tailgating. These coolers are designed to meet the needs of every outdoor or sports enthusiast. So gear up for your next adventure with Rugged Road coolers. Reliable, durable, and built to be used. Rugged Road is your ultimate outdoor companion. Head to ruggedroadoutdoors.com and use code DLLS for 10% off.
Let's talk about Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor activities. Mine, I have several varieties, one that they provided to us, and several that I purchased myself. Comfortable, lightweight, especially the aviators, and they do very much block that light that reflects off those car windshields, back windshields, all the glare that you might get while you're driving or just outside enjoying your very sunny North Texas DFW, or anywhere. Actually, you don't have to be in Texas to enjoy Shady Rays. Plus, they have a fantastic worry-free return within 30 days. You can exchange for a new pair if you don't like them or return them. There's no risk to you when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use the code DLLS for 35% off polarized sunglasses. All right. I would propose that, well, we can do our recap. I would propose that we get to the super chats, because
agreed. There's
the folks
millions
in the chat are not happy. So let's start with the super chat and see where we get here on DLS. The Stars beat the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3 in overtime. All right, John, fire away.
I just have to proofread all these before I do it to make sure there's no swear words in it, because chat is very hot right now, but I think we're good.
Understood.
Bing bong.
This is definitely the angriest we've had.
T. Farmer starting it off with a Heiskanen and 99 Cup year. If Miro has extended time off, Jim looks like a genius for waiting on making a move. If that's the case, let's get a lockdown D-man and serviceable forward. Honestly, that's what we were talking about yesterday. We want a defenseman that can be, it doesn't have to be an offensive guy. They've got offensive guys.
Yep.
If they have one that can do both, great. But to me, Jim doesn't look like a genius for waiting, although he is an incredibly capable general manager in the NHL. He's been talking about this the whole time because of this exact reason. But it's not a genius move. It's just a prudent management thing. Both Luddy and I have said previously, we like managers to make a move earlier to give your players more time to acclimate, get used to each other, and maybe figure out the systems. The opposite is what Jim likes, which is the longer you wait, the more you have leeway to make adjustments, because you may have to change course based on injuries.
Yeah, I just, again, you don't want to assume anything, but I mean, you're curious to see what this is, and does it change anything being a guy like Miro that can do all the things that he does? And now again, it's not, you can't just run out and grab another Miro Heiskanen, but you know, all the minutes that he plays, how he plays, the way he skates and transports the puck and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, Thomas Harley can do that. But, you know, now it shifts your thinking a little bit from, you know, forward, and, you know, you still don't know where Tyler Seguin is. And so where are your priorities here? And right now, as I talk about, you know, always making sure that you have enough defensemen so when you get deep into the playoffs, because you can get little bumps and bruises back there, I would say your attention changes depending on what the outcome of this is to maybe, you know, looking a little higher in the tree.
Yeah. Look, the serviceable forward part, I do have to push back on that from T. Farmer. They have plenty of serviceable forwards. They've got a half dozen guys that can come in and play a fourth line role. And
more waiting in
right.
Cedar Park.
To me, it has to be somebody that can be in a top 9 role. It has to be a first, second, or third line player that can help make your team more dangerous. We were talking about it off the air, and look, they put Rope Hintz during the game up with Wyatt Johnston and Jason Robertson. I love that. That does take away from Pete's desire to have Johnston, Hintz, and Duchesne as his 3 centers in some order. But if you're going to load up those 3 and you get Marchment and Seguin back, let's say assume Sagan's back for the playoffs, those are 2 really, really good lines. Then you have Jamie Benn and somebody else. It would be Bork and Stankoven. It could be somebody that you trade for. It could be Dodonov, who's been fantastic all year. But you want the more options because it's not that those players aren't great. It's if you push, let's say Dodonov gets forced into a 4th-line role. Now you have Evgeny Dodonov, who's going to probably be a 20-goal scorer this year, on your 4th line. That's depth.
Yeah, makes your team better. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. This team's better when certain guys are in certain spots. And while Evgeny Dodonov has been great on that top line, he's better in the bottom 6. And the same thing goes for nothing against Maverick Bourque, but maybe Maverick Bourque is top 6 in his future. We don't know yet. But right now, he's not your playoff top 6 or even top 9. If he is, he's on a wing. He can't drive a 3rd line against a Vegas or someone that has 4 elite centers down the middle.
You know, when you look at that and if Wyatt played up there, I mean, I thought one of the most noticeable guys tonight was Maverick Bourque. And so there's another, I mean, until Wyatt decided to come out of the phone booth and put the cape on, you know, I mean, Bourque to me was the guy that was standing out the whole time. And then, you know, Wyatt takes over. So, you know, again, you can mix and match. I mean, they've been doing it all year long. I mean, you could still have Wyatt playing down the middle. And then if you want to get down to a certain part of the game and you want to shorten the bench a little bit, I don't think you'd have a problem taking Wyatt, putting him up there, you know, and then, like you said, you've got Duchesne. And if you got to put Maverick in that hole, and we've seen Sam Steele take a different level. But yeah, but again, you're talking about trying to get through and win a Stanley Cup, and so you're gonna, you know, you need some top end. If you need a couple more top end guys.
Bing bang.
Our next super chat comes from I Love Missy 1985, and this is a big one. It's a Johnston and a Luds, aka Ludwig. Pardon me. Feels great to end our trailing after 2 drought. I have to be driving in a few hours, but I couldn't sleep thinking about the game. And don't think I'll be able to after that exciting finish. Just sucks. It had to be what is that? I can't even see that part. Is that Pyrrhic with Miro hurt?
I can't see any of it.
Looks like psychic.
So it's obviously a bittersweet result because of Miro injury.
John's not going to make it any bigger for you either.
That's okay. I'll figure it out.
It is literally the biggest it can possibly be right now.
Why don't you read it to us?
I think it is. I think it is the word Pyrrhic.
What's that word?
I don't know what that word is, and I don't know if it's a typo. I don't know if it's intentional. So, Misty, if you could please shed some light.
So, if you really want to get fancy, guys, it's a word that means that it's a victory, but at such a big cost, it's probably not worth winning. Excuse me. And I have got a tickle in the old throat.
I don't know. Is that a Subway or something like that? What's it called? Segway? Some
non sequitur.
Do you think a bunch of fans are going to have some trouble with sleeping after a game like that for either of the 2 reasons, whether it's the exciting win or the injury or both? Kind of fretting this as they.
Well, you're gonna the injury right now. The injury. I mean, I don't want to say it trumps Wyatt's performance, but I'm sorry, it does kind of because this is an important player.
It is. The way it happened, I understand Stars fans. I understand the frustration and anger.
And who did it?
As soon as it said it was Stone that was involved in the collision, I knew it was only going to get worse. But this is one of those. There's games where you stay up all night and you're angry and you're just aggressively tweeting out things or whatever your outlet is. And this is one of them for multiple reasons. And one of them is positive. The other one is negative. Some say that's Pyrrhic. Is that the word? I forgot it already.
I don't know if that's the right usage of it.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. But thank you, I Love Misty, for a generous one.
I don't know words.
This is Dustin, who, by the way, was heavily drinking during the game.
Oh, this is the one. This is the one I was talking about.
He sent us a photo on Twitter of multiple empty Miller Lights on his.
This is the one I told you.
I saw that.
This is the one I told you about. That was.
I need a Miller Light.
Love for Miro with a Miro and Miro super chat. Yeah.
Stay on it, Dustin. Keep pushing forward, man.
You got it.
Bing bang.
We have Ari Rosen with a Ludwig, or it could be Dumba, but it's a Ludwig and a Johnson.
Dumba.
Is there a version of Dumba that fits in our lineup? Maybe it is a Dumba.
Like another one, or
no?
I don't think
a clone. I think they're
You
talking
know what
about
this team needs is a Matt Dumba type player. You know,
do we have an alternate universe?
Is it one enough?
I have.
Hey, John, I'm sure you don't have the 2 Spider-Man memes at your disposal quickly.
I don't, but
that would be the one that Luds would
and
just
Sam
love.
can reenact it.
I got it figured out now.
Spider-Man meme?
I get it. I kind of get it.
My answer to that is yes, him from 2017. So no.
Is there what?
I said, is there a version of Matt Dumba that fits in the lineup? Matt Dumba in 2017 fits in this lineup. Matt Dumba today does not fit in this lineup.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Look, he's fine for regular season games. We've been carrying through this whole season so far, 50 games worth, thinking about how to make this team right for the playoffs. Right? That's the goal.
Yep.
The whole goal is to, qualify for the playoffs and then get your team right so that when you hit there, you hit it running. And Lud's talked about that the pregame show where we're talking about Jason Robertson. He goes, I want Robertson playing like that third segment, this just on fire pace for game number 83.
Yeah, and you can't really pick your spots. I mean, everything's got to go right. But as long as when you get to game 60, as a group, as a team, and good players all the way through the lineup, you're starting to go this way. And again, they're going this way right now as a team. And we'll see what happens when Marchment gets back, and hopefully Tyler Sagan's back, and hopefully Rupe's back, or not Rupe. Well, I hope Rupe's 100%, which he looks like it now, doesn't he? I mean, we were kind of questioning it in the beginning here, but he was going as the game progressed, and then there's always gonna, there's that question right now about Miro, but again, if it's gonna happen, unfortunately it happens. Have it happen now, and have them instead of in game 3 of the playoffs, because you lose a Heiskanen in the playoffs, or you lose a Marchment in the playoffs, everybody just kind of takes a little bit of a nosedive.
Dustin is in the chat saying, all caps, I got a tickle in the throat. Still going, boys.
Nice.
And
Proud
then Ari said, it's Ludwig. So it's not a Dumba.
I will say one thing to go on Dumba, because I don't want to just hate on the guy. The bottom below Lyubushkin, Harley, Lindell, Heiskanen, no one's really grabbed that spot. Lundqvist has gotten better, but clearly not enough to have enough trust to play these games.
Yep.
Bischel has been okay.
Well, and you're right. The key word there is trust. I mean, with Nils, right?
Yeah.
I mean, well, the coaching staff is showing us that, right? I thought he was progressing the way they wanted him to, and now there's a question mark for us. More importantly, hopefully there's not one for Nils.
Yeah.
Saying, wait, are we doing this again?
There's got to be a plan, I imagine, that they're telling him.
But it seems like the plan would be not to play against Vegas.
Yeah.
Which you're basically saying, so if we play them in playoffs, I'm not playing in that round?
It's a tough spot.
That's kind of what you're saying.
It's kind of what you're saying.
Kind of what you're saying.
Tough spot to be in.
That's a problem.
Unless there's another reason they're playing Dumba.
So, I've got multiple Dumba comments. Kirsten says, no Dumba clones, please. One is enough. Allie then said, one Dumba is one too many. No clones, please. Jason said, the Matt Dumba-like player is Trouba. And then Kevin said, please, God, no Trouba. And then they're just continuing to argue about it over there. And we will continue with our Super Chats. Actually, you know what, John? Let's do our next ad break, and then more Super Chats here on the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show. It means Sam's got to be ready.
You need a second, Sam?
Is it me? Oh, yeah. The East-West Shrine Bowl, folks. Let's talk about it right now. America's oldest college football all-star game is being held right here in the state of Texas on January 30th, which is tomorrow.
Technically, yes.
Thursday.
Yes.
January 30th.
Thursday.
Be a part of history in the making at the 100th East-West Shrine Bowl at AT&T Stadium. Since 1925, the game has benefited Shriners Children's and its mission to provide innovative pediatric specialty care to improve and transform the lives of children. See some of the nation's top college football players play in this head-to-head competition ahead of the NFL Draft. The East-West Shrine Bowl has served as a starting point for many noteworthy NFL careers, including 80 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and more than 200 members of the College Football Hall of Fame. Tickets start at just $20. Use the code DLLS when purchasing 2 or more tickets to receive 50% off. Visit shrinebowl.com to buy your tickets today.
Boom. Nicely done. Let's talk about game time. Well, the football season is almost over, and so getting tickets to the NFL playoffs just isn't what it used to be. But there's still one game left, and it's the Super Bowl, and it's in New Orleans. And our very own producer, John, will be there for Super Bowl week. I don't know if he'll actually be there. The game probably won't. But we can hope maybe we can get you some Super Chats and we can get you a ticket. Well, we would use Game Time. Download Game Time. Use Game Time Picks. It's a new feature that makes getting tickets even easier for any event, whether it's sports, concerts, theater, comedy shows, you name it. They curate the best deals. You find the best prices. You can even use the on-time ticket delivery and lowest price guarantees. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account and use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code DLLS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right. I know we have more Super Chats on the way, and let's get to them as we continue here on the postgame show after a 4-3 overtime victory over the Vegas Golden Knights. John,
Bing bong.
Stretch that screen back to the full size for us, if you would so kindly, sir. And then I might be able to read those Super Chats.
I can't read it even if you put it on.
So as far as I know,
wall.
Ardell has yet to cash in on the Super Chat we owe him for missing one on the show yesterday, but he sent a Super Chat anyway and paid for it, so
Ardell.
we'll take it.
Okay, Ardell, if you want to hit us in the
The love
chat
of the game.
on the other one, we can do that one as well, because we missed one. I think it was in segment 4 of our show. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it came in, I think, before the third break, and I was going to do it later, and then didn't.
Well, we got caught up with.
While I was kicking rocks.
we went a long time on that conversation yesterday as well. All right, this one is a Lundqvist and a Smith. This team isn't winning anything without Miro Heiskanen. That's not an overreaction. That's a fact. The season hinges on his condition. Is he right? Is Miro that important to the Stars?
Yeah, he is. I mean, Miro makes things look so easy that it doesn't even seem like he's as valuable as he is. But he transports the puck so effortlessly out of his own zone, whether it's a pass or skating ability. So, you can talk about he's not always the best defender in the zone, and maybe he's not as fit, but he doesn't spend much time there because he's generally lugging the puck out, and that's not even a fair word to use, lug. Guys like me lugged it around, but Miro just kind of effortlessly is gone up the ice. And, we give him a hard time sometimes lately about shooting the puck more on the power play, but he's pretty damn reliable. And I think that's what you want out of any defenseman. And he chews up, 25, 26 minutes a night. He plays against the other team's top forwards generally. So he probably doesn't get enough credit for what he does. He doesn't put up the points to be in that conversation all the time, but he does a lot of other things. This team is a team. They don't rely on just one guy, and I don't want to say that'd be my argument to this because he is super important, but these guys are built differently where they don't rely on 2 forwards and 1 defenseman.
Right.
Bing bong.
Our next one from JT, a Heiskanen and Johnston. This may force Nils' hand with a D trade soon. I actually don't agree with that, and here's why. Unless the Stars take and we don't know how long Miro's going to be injured for. It could be, he could play against Vancouver. That would be the best case scenario.
Best case scenario right now, the old 7 to 10 days. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I
think you're right.
Unless it's next week. I'm just saying.
It could be incredibly fortunate, and it's not as bad as it looked, and he was, sore in a couple of days and maybe misses a game. That's on the positive side. Obviously, there's a bunch of other sides.
How far are we away from the 7 Nations thing? Is it like 2 weeks?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yep. So
Tight.
You just say 7 nations.
He did, yes. He added 3.
He added
Who
a
are the
white
other
stripes.
3? Who are the other 3 nations that are playing?
What did I say?
You said 7 nations.
Did I say 7 Nations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seven Nations Army.
That's right. Hey, at least he knows
nice.
the Jack White, Meg White. Yep.
That's where I was.
Don't start singing it. It's going to set the algorithm off.
Because it's Wednesday. It's throwing you all off.
So the reason why I say I'm not sure I agree with that is because I don't think the Stars need to rush it until the trade deadline is March 7th. So they have a little over a month. So, and if you look at the standings, they're in a good spot. Now, they don't want to lose any ground. If anything, they want to keep charging forward and put pressure on Winnipeg. My point is they don't have to rush, but if there's one they're thinking about pulling the trigger, Luds, you and I both would love to see it sooner than later, but I don't think they have to rush this any more than if Miro wasn't injured.
Yeah, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of teams clamoring to give the Dallas Stars a defenseman similar to Heiskanen. You know what I mean? There's
not a lot of them.
No. Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of teams that are going to do that. And if they are, well, there's going to now what happens is, if there is something that's significant, the cost is going to go up to acquire somebody because they know that you're in a bad spot if you're missing him for a certain period of time. So the asking price will be even more because we're going to go, well, we know you really need him, so we're going to have to squeeze this a little bit more out of you if there's somebody that they really are up for.
So like Matt Dumba for Quinn Hughes 1-for-1?
Yeah,
something like that.
You're probably going to have to throw a couple more, couple kids in there or something like that.
So there was
a whole franchise in there.
That's going to get me off on a tangent, but why not?
Sorry.
There was a Twitter thread that I got tagged in today that was talking about a suggestion of what the Stars should do, what forward and what defenseman they should go get. And the push was Brendan Carlo from the Boston Bruins. He's a right shot defenseman. He's in his 20s.
He'd probably be staying with John.
He's
so
6'5".
He's got a free place to live.
I know Boston's not happy with where they're at right now, and they might be looking to shake things up. But I think somebody like Brendan Carlo would be an absolutely exceedingly expensive move. I'm not saying they shouldn't try to get a guy like that, but I think that's really unrealistic.
Yeah, but again, you're not holding all the cards. They know the situation you're in, so of course you're going to have to pay more now.
Yeah, I mean, Miro getting hurt for however long is going to make it harder for them to make a move because I think everybody was probably aware that Dallas was thinking about it, but now that, I saw somebody in the chat say, boy, if things were the worst and Miro gets added to Sagan's LTIR, they'd have a huge amount of money, which is true, but you can't just go to the free agent market and add rentals. You have to trade and you have to use assets. So it's either players, prospects, or draft picks, or a combination of the three, and they would not be very cheap. So let's go to the next one.
Bing bang.
Talk hockey with me. A little DeSmith and 99 Cup here. Nothing better than a win over Vegas. Go Stars. That's the attitude.
Tomahawk City.
Yeah.
I like that.
Next one.
Bing bang.
Michael Moore with a long one. Is that the Masterton? I think it is. Can't remember. It's not the Goldsworthy, right? No. I think it's the Masterton and the 99 Cup here.
19, yeah.
Yeah. When Miro went out, why did Essa eat up power play minutes? Stars keep overcoming and winning. Feels like a championship team in the making. Luds, at what point in 99 did it sink in that you guys could beat anyone?
It started sinking in 97 and then 98 because there was a progression of what was being added and the conversation about where we were. We were starting to take, like, for what Dallas is doing now to Vegas. They're a good team, and what they're doing to the Avalanche, and the teams that you have to get through, and you're generally, you're more concerned about your side, and you get through because once you get to the finals, I think for the most part, whoever is there, either team generally has an opportunity to win the cup because even if they're not the best team that's representing them, they're playing the best right now from that side. So
you get to the Stanley Cup final, each team's got to believe it's their year.
Yeah. But there's things that happen during the course of the year that you because you can say it and you can talk it in the room, but you have to have things that happen where you go, yep, we can do this. Yeah, we did. We played this way. We played this way for a stretch, and we were able to tweak some parts of our game that weren't as tight as they should be. And all of a sudden now we're going, oh, yeah, well, now we got this together. We know we have guys that can score. And, our goalie's playing well. And now we've got a group of defensemen that are, understand what everybody's trying to do. And you're working together with both sides of everything. So there's a lot of things that have to come together. And you have to have some luck along the way. And like this right now is bad luck if it's anything significant. But again, it's better that it happens now and it's not something severe, but that Miro would be back in time to, get everything back, in order.
Yes. If you want to put a silver lining on an injury, and again, we don't know how long it's going to be, and clearly they won't say anything. I'm sure.
Yeah, no update as of right now
I'm sure that
from
Pete
Pete
didn't say anything that because they'll probably, anytime there's a concern about a knee, these guys will go get MRIs and make sure that they know exactly what they're going to. Team will fly back here.
Yep.
They'll get their doctors to look at it.
Yep.
But that's the silver lining, right? It could be in April 1st, and now you're losing playoff games.
Yeah, that's the bad news is when, things like that are happen at that time of the year. So right now, all we can do is really sit and hope for the better news or some news.
That is it for Super Chats at the moment. Shout out to everyone tuning in, though. I believe this is our most watched live stream to date. Post-game show, pre-game show, regular day show.
Did I lose it earlier? Did I see about 175 at one point?
It was up there at one point.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked that some folks have decided to go to sleep at this point, but for a stream that started pretty much at midnight on the dot.
We got another one.
In. Oh, one just came in.
Yeah, just when we said that was it. We've got a first-time club from Kevin Flatt. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, first timer over here.
And the year after the Stars won the Stanley Cup. If we call up a defenseman, who you got?
Stupid Jason Arnott.
Do you guys think that they need to call up a defenseman with the fact that Smith was playing forward and Lundqvist was the healthy scratch?
I don't think so. I think Lundqvist goes in.
Yeah, well, if you got Blumel is here. If you got to pull,
no, he's sent down, but you could always call him back up.
I'm just saying, if Smith is going to be your seventh, then Blumel's going to be a guy. And I mean, there's you don't have to do anything right now.
Yeah, I think they'd have an extra body probably for this next couple home games.
Petro's available if you need someone.
Petrovic's your obvious call up. I think if they do need one.
They also have, although we haven't seen him since training camp, Kyle Capobianco is an idea down there. But I think you're right. I don't know if they're going to necessarily feel they have to. That kind of leads me to the other question of it is you can easily move Brendan Smith back to defense if you had to. You've seen him play 3 games in a row now at forward. Yeah. I like what I see from a fourth line role. I'm not asking him to be, a top 9 guy. I think he's playing the role pretty well. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's done what he's supposed to do. And the other thing is you can still if you wanted to use him, you got 60 and you want to use him up front and somebody gets hurt or something's not going well, you can go 7-11. I mean, you can
always drop back and play if he had to.
Put him back there and they'll just rotate somebody through the middle or whatever they want to do on a fourth line.
Are you surprised they haven't done that this year yet?
I don't think they ever
lineup kind of
like 7-11?
Yeah.
I don't even recall the last time this team did that. I think there's some teams that have no problem doing it. Cooper's done it in Tampa. A couple other teams have done it, but there's not many teams that like going that route.
No, I mean,
and to be honest with you, it's not. I don't think any of the defensemen actually enjoy it either. I mean, you're taking minutes away from certain guys, and and the guy that's the seventh, and he's only playing 2 or 3 minutes, and it's hard to get into a flow of a game.
Sam, I got a question in the chat from Texas Twist. You answered this at the show yesterday, but just can you give a quick Mason Marchment update from what you saw at practice yesterday?
Yes. No further update on timeline. We'll ask again. Still the same timeline of just before or right after the Four Nations break. The only potential difference was that he wasn't wearing the red sweater during practice yesterday. But, and I noted this in the show yesterday, he didn't wear it at morning skate either, and he only wore it when they had full lines and were doing power play, scrimmage, and things like that, where it was going to be contact. So this one was everyone wearing the same green color at an optional practice. So we don't want to look too much into that, but we will get an update. But as of now, the same timeline.
Was he taking line rushes?
They weren't doing any lines.
Nope. So he wasn't on a line with anyone.
Nope.
Thank you very much for all the Super Chats. I mean, we did 2 full segments of it, and we could probably still go. If you have more, hit us up. We'll do a quick recap. We'll do our man of the match. We keep things rolling here on the DLLS Dallas Stars postgame show. Oh, yeah.
I was so scared that it was me. Lutz is looking at Rugged Road like...
Producer's worst nightmare is the show going silent and me looking around like, are we on the air?
Lutz is like, Rugged Road is reading.
I didn't know I was supposed to read it again.
Read it again.
I was just checking the chat to see what was being said. And, yeah, I forgot. It's me. Got a nice little tickle in the old throat with this cough that wasn't bothering me during most of the game. So it's perfect. It waited for the post-game show to flare up. DLS Diehard program. I can't stress enough how much it helps support our show. There's a QR code at the bottom of the screen. If Luds points straight down from his legs, you can see it. Or if you're listening to our post-game show a little bit later, there's John's going to help him out.
I'm sorry.
You can go to alldls.com.
I'm laughing at if Luds... Never mind.
You're going to take us way off course here. You go to the website, alldls.com. You can click on the Diehard program, and you can sign up. And what do you get when you sign up to be a Diehard program? Well, you get Luds and John sitting in each other's laps. That's weird and creepy.
Luds, stay still.
You get Miro dangling from a knee. That's
half
weird.
Half a Luds, half a
But
John.
no, what you really get from being a diehard is the top level of engagement with us. You get access to the Discord channel, which is an area where you can chat during games throughout the day. Obviously, when we do our Luds Damn Discord segment on our show from time to time, those are the only ones that get to ask questions during those fun Wheels Off segments. Plus, you get the diehard level access to the writing for Sam, for Sean, for our other sports, Mavs, Cowboys, and Rangers. And of course, you can also get a free t-shirt with each year you sign up to be a diehard. You can get the flag shirt. You could get, well, that one's not available. That is a one of one. You could get the Skyline shirt that I've got on. Luddy's got the DLS flag. It comes in black. It also comes in other colors, including the Stars green. You can see the other pictures below. All those things, great perks to be a DLLS diehard. In addition to all of that, becoming a diehard subscriber helps support our show, our network, our DLLS network. And yes, we do have a watch party on the way. The first ever in-person watch party will be at Cosm, February 6th, 6:30 p.m.
Going, eh?
The Mavericks playing the Celtics.
If only if we get.
And thank
VIP.
you to all our diehards out there who have already
threw him
signed
off.
up.
He didn't even know he was reading it.
All right.
We did get one more super chat.
Fire away.
Holla.
Bing bang.
Mark Dunford with a little DeSmith 99. Will this show be a regular thing? Why, yes, Mark. Thank you. In case you aren't familiar, yes, as a matter of fact, we do this every game day, and we do 5 shows a week. So let's say the Stars play 2 games. We'd have 3 weekday shows. If they play 3 like they did this week, or are doing this week, we'll have 2. We had a show yesterday. We'll have another one on Thursday, plus the pre- and post games for every Stars game. We did regular season all the way through. We've got playoffs coming up. Should be a lot of fun. Hope you're around for the ride. All right. Let us... By the way, Allie thinks it's really funny that Sam is wearing the Hot Sam shirt. And earlier she said that Sam was the creepy one. She thought it was her. It's definitely Sam.
Yeah, 100%. I said I was going to steal your chicken earlier.
No,
and
you
not
said
like
you were
not
going
your
to stay
dinner
in my house
and
uninvited.
Steal your
That's
chicken.
creepy.
Excuse me. Some
All
people
right.
like to have me as a house guest.
Let's...
Lud's invited me to his hot tub.
You guys going to wear your Foco swim?
Oh, we
swimwear?
haven't seen those in forever.
All right. So,
Foco?
Yeah, remember those sweet swim shorts?
I do.
We
I
never
don't have
got
a
them.
pair of those
We
either.
never got them delivered.
did you order them?
No, we thought they were just going to give them to us.
Oh, you just thought. Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably with your Shady Rays then.
Yeah, they're in the mail.
Let's
Sitting
do a
right
lightning
next to my
round
cooler.
recap here. We'll do it real quick. Ivan Barbashev scored on a shot in the slot to open the scoring 1-0 Vegas. Stars challenged. He's offside. It was pretty clear that he was over the line before the puck. Still a nice shot, though, because I don't think Ottinger knew that the play was offside.
Otter must have known because he let it go in.
It was a perfect shot and a good little play. Everyone thought that the puck was going down the wall, so all the Stars defensemen moved to the wall. In Vegas, all kind of
they always kind of always move to the wall.
They love moving.
Don't get
to the
me
wall.
going.
They love moving to the wall.
Then they eventually would score, and when I say eventually, I mean at 1:54 of the first period. Jack Eichel at the top of the crease from Ivan Barbashev, and they finally made it 1-0.
Yeah, a little systemic issue. We're going to talk about this. Well, I don't want to really bag on Miro right now because this isn't what it's about. But this is the system. It's not Miro. You can see Miro Heiskanen here in the middle of the ice playing up above the top of the circle. His job here was to follow Jack Eichel around. And as he does, Eichel ends up going over to the other side, over to Ottinger's right. Heiskanen's over there. Then Heiskanen's on his way back over to the left side of the ice. And then it's Thomas Harley that decides to do a pirouette on the way over to follow Stone. And so now all of a sudden what we have is we have two defensemen that are miles away from their own net. Now, again, this is the system. I'm not blaming the guys. And then you can see it right here for a little tap in from Eichel. And that is Thomas Harley's stick that you can just see coming into the picture where everybody has vacated the front of the net. So that is the goal that I have issues with. When defensemen start to get a little bit away from their own net and they're chasing back to their net or running around, and we've got forwards covering people in the slot. And when you play against a team that can make adjustments like that, they just start to run little picks and twists and things like that. And when you pull defensemen out of there, because that's your system, it ends up being where you have guys that have played their whole life in front of the net at the other end of the rink, not so much at the one on their own.
The Stars gave up another grade A chance to Dorofeyev, wide open at the right circle. He missed the net, but then they tied it, and they answered right back with Maverick Bourque scoring his 6th of the year. Duchesne with a great setup pass. Miro Heiskanen extended his point streak to 5 straight games, and it was less than 2 minutes that Vegas had a 1-0 lead. It was tied.
Yeah, I thought it was a good, quick shot by Maverick just to get it off, get it up. I think it's probably one Aiden Hill would want back and went 5-hole. It wasn't in tight. It was, somewhere above the hash mark. But credit to Bourque as he gets it off and gets it off quick.
Then it was about 3 minutes later, Tomas Hertl scored. And this was a rebound at the right post. And Luddy, you had some problems with this. If you haven't seen his breakdown video at the end of the first period, we tweeted it.
They're hilarious.
It's wonderful. He actually had to be censored. Would you like to give us the abridged version?
Still censored.
Yeah, I get disappointed. I get upset when I see these goals. This particular goal, Bischel. Oh, we got that one too. Cool. So Bischel, I forgot. It was yesterday we talked about this, John.
Rugged Road.
It was you and I sat down together and you told me what screenshots to do and where to draw the arrows.
That was a day ago.
It was yesterday.
So can we just put it back up here for the people that are actually trying to watch this? Not all 5 of them. So here's Bischel, because his assignment is to cover this particular forward from Vegas. So he moves away from the front of the net. And Matt Dumba was originally supposed to be following Hertl behind the net, and then all of a sudden he checks off for some reason, and then he gives a little forearm shiver, and when that whole little pile happens, now all of a sudden Thomas Hertl, who Dumba was following around the ice, which is the same guy now that Duchesne is on him, and Thomas Hertl just kind of steps out, and I think right here Jake Oettinger is still not quite sure where everybody is, and you can see the puck, and then all of a sudden Thomas Hertl has his eyes on it, and then he just tucks it into the net. But again, you have two defensemen that have their back turned to the goaltender and are looking away from the net and not really seeing what's going on behind them. So move on.
After that, I think the Stars did get their feet under them, and they were better the second half of the first period.
Yeah, the Wyatt show took over.
They didn't give up anything else, and that was good at that point. But then they did give up a goal because they took a penalty on a power play for Vegas already, so it turned it to a 5-on-3. And they didn't take long as Dorofeyev scored his 22nd, team-leading 22nd goal for Vegas, 3:57 into the second period from Stone and Eichel. And he's a little fortunate, Luds, because it's a great chance, but he almost missed it.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of, well, it's a great pass to start with. And I think what happened on the play, just to sum it up, I think when Colin Blackwell got a little too high, when he goes out on a 5-on-3, he gets too high. Esa Lindell, who's really responsible for that pass that comes across the front of the crease, because Blackwell can't really recover to the front, Esa's kind of caught in the middle. And I think that's what allows the pass to come across. But the shot actually would probably, if it wouldn't have hit Oettinger in the right pad, it probably went back in the far corner. But again, he missed his shot a little bit, and it was just going a little above Oettinger, but catches enough of his pad, and it just ricochets back into the net.
Then the Stars answer right back, still on a 5-on-4 penalty kill. Wyatt Johnston scores on a rebound on a 2-on-1 with Rope Hintz. Sam Rope shot for the far pad. The rebound was perfect. Johnston slams it home. It's his 12th of the year, shorthanded goal at 5:04, and it's a minute and 7 seconds between the power play goal 5-on-3 for the Golden Knights and the Stars to make it a 3-2 game.
We talked about, I think it was in the back-to-back in St. Louis, it's important to stay within reach when you're playing great teams or playing tired, whatever it is. Every time, and I personally didn't think they were going to do this, every time it looked like Vegas was going to pull away, Dallas found a way back. And I think it was you, Owen, that said that's why those guys kill penalties, right? That's why they have Hintz out there. That's why they have Wyatt out there.
Luddy was talking about the offensive-minded players.
It's huge, and it leads to these things. And you have to have your defensive responsibility first, but those guys both do. And then when they do get this chance, they can convert instead of it turning into a non-chance.
I have a notable comment about this goal.
Good.
Is it noteworthy?
It's a noteworthy comment. I just want to slide that in there for the two writers here. The reason that Rupe gets that shot off is before he takes that shot, he takes his left leg and he actually spreads his legs and he pushes his left leg forward. And what it does, it takes the defender's stick out of the way, where Hintz is able to kind of get the puck over on the left side, and he gets that good shot off which turns into a perfect rebound for Wyatt.
Let's go to the third period now. The Stars needed a goal. And Luddy looked at us before the puck dropped to begin the third period and said, I think they need to score in the first 7 minutes. Otherwise, it might not happen. It didn't happen. It took them a little longer than that. Miro got injured, and they're still down a goal. And I think if you want to add a little bonus silver lining to this is the fact that they lose one of their most important players, hobbles off the ice on a hit like that, and they still have the presence of mind to go out there and tie the game as Wyatt scores his second of the game. This came at 11:54, so a little longer than Luddy's prediction, but hence the setup, Robertson the other assist, and just a really nice shot from the right circle.
I would have to believe at some point after Miro left, there was somebody on that bench that said, let's get this one for Miro.
You think that's something that Jamie says?
I would think, being as important he is to that club, but Wyatt, this one here, Hill was guessing. He had no clue where it was going. You could tell he had no idea. I think he felt like it was going to go short side over his left shoulder, and it caught him completely off guard. I don't think he had a clue.
I thought it was interesting that the Stars had like 2 shots in the entire third period.
They're just putting him to sleep a little bit.
They just lulled him to sleep, and then Wyatt said, I'll just do this on my own. What a shot.
I mean, the shots were low in the third, both sides. It was 9-6
not a whole
Vegas.
lot going on.
The overtime period starts with a Shea Theodore breakaway. Oettinger with a huge save on that. I don't think it was his most technically refined save, but he did what he had to do to get his body in the way of a shot. Did it catch him in the chin, the mask, the shoulder, a little bit of everything?
I think it was kind of up here in the collarbone area.
But again, it pays to be 6'6" when you make a save like that, and you get just a little bit of it with the upper part of your body.
Love 3-on-3.
Well, they turned around and went the other way, and it was the next rush because 20 seconds into overtime, Wyatt Johnston completes his hat trick. He scores on a give and go with Hintz. The puck movement was incredible. Natural hat trick, game-winning goal. Youngest to do it as the Dallas Star. Only the 8th player to score a shorthanded goal, an overtime winner, and a hat trick all in the same game. I mean, what a performance by number 53 tonight.
Yeah, and what a pass by Rupe too. And I think there's a lot of other players that may have just rushed that play a little bit. Wyatt knew where he was, the time that he had, and he made sure that he got all of it and just put it basically into an empty net.
Before we do any more, Sam is staying quiet, so I can say thank you to everyone who joined us on our television platforms. Make sure to like and subscribe here on the pod and check out alldls.com. Okay.
Good
Sam,
job,
back
Sam.
to you.
That's definitely why I was staying quiet. What was the question?
There was no question.
Yes.
Stars won the game.
I say yes.
Let's throw a couple of numbers your way.
Love it. I'm a big numbers guy.
They're now 5-4 in their last 9 games.
It's 1 a.m.
After a 9-game point streak. They've won 3 in a row, which means that if they're 5-4, they were 2-4 in their previous 6. So little blip. Now they're back at it. They are 13-4-1 in their last 18 games. That's about a 750 point percentage. And they keep doing that over long stretches. But how about the topic we brought up in the pregame show? They're now 8-2 in their last 10 road games.
It's huge. It's huge. I think that the road record was the most confusing to me because this team just had that identity last season. And we really thought it was going to happen again because it felt like that's what they were built for. The 4 lines, the 3D, and maybe that was part of it. Maybe they weren't able to roll the same amount of lines and feel the same confidence without Robertson putting in a goal a game, without Hintz driving the play, without all, the same defense they had that they relied on last year. But the fact that they've just kind of pushed through all that and allowed themselves to grow back into it one step at a time, they look like that unstoppable team on the road again, and they're doing it. I mean, this game, you said it was a huge game for Vegas, right? To go against a team like Dallas, it's a statement for Dallas. And we're talking, the Miro thing puts a big cloud over all this, right? But What a win. I mean, I did not see this coming when a game was 3-1.
Yeah, I think this is showing how the way that the season started and, 4 or 5 new players and everything. And now that they're getting back to being that team that they were on the road, now all of a sudden you're seeing everything kind of come into shape as where they left off last year from a regular season standpoint.
All right, guys, it's late. We all want to go home, although guys in the chat are joking that they're going to wake up their significant others and have them watch the highlights or say that is indeed Stars After Dark. Sam, it's after 1 a.m. It's after midnight, Stars After Dark.
So I can do whatever I want now.
No.
Shirts off, boys.
Oh, yeah, tarps off.
So let's just do this, and then we'll call it a day. Luddy, who's your man of the match?
Come on. Brendan Smith.
That's a good one. That's what I was going to say.
Were you?
Yeah.
And then I'll say Wyatt.
You say Wyatt?
I'll say Wyatt.
I'll go with Rope.
Rope had 3 assists.
He had all
in the
3
game.
assists on the
How about that?
Second best.
It was a heck of a night for him. Wyatt's the number 1 for sure. He was the number 1 star in the game. The numbers 2 and 3 stars tonight out of Vegas were Jack Eichel and Mark Stone. I'm sure the chat loves the idea of Mark Stone being the number 3 star, but they, let's see. Stone, aside from injuring Miro Heiskanen, I thought he had a couple points. Yeah, he had 2 assists. Eichel had a goal and assist.
You think Joe Pavelski was watching the game tonight?
Oh, yeah. I guarantee he's already sent them a text message and talked to him.
Who, to Miro or just to somebody on the team?
No, to Wyatt.
Oh, to Wyatt, of course.
Yes.
I don't know what I was thinking. No, look, guys, I always like to look for an honorable mention or another one just so I don't say the same things. I thought Maverick Bourque was pretty good tonight.
Yeah,
I not only did he score a goal, but I thought he was pretty dangerous. It's Wyatt Johnston going away.
Bing bang.
He was phenomenal. Oh, how about that? I'm trying to leave. Ardell, a little Smith and Bischel, or he would want us to say Bixel, but it's Bischel for what he asked. Pavelski.
Hatcher. Oh, sorry. And
can we call a party foul on John?
Remember when I got announced my engagement on the show and and John wanted to put up a picture of it and instead he put a SpongeBob sound drop.
Who are you people? How about T Farmer? A little Heiskanen 99 Cup year. I miss Joe. I mean, if you guys just want to keep peppering us with super chats about Pavelski, we'll do it all night long.
I keep saying it.
Talk with me. Smith 99 Cup year. Did Pavelski call this morning? They're just putting quarters in the machine, Luds.
We have created a monster.
When we're done, when we actually finally get to be done, does this chat thing go on or is it?
No,
it cuts off.
Do you mean like
unless
it goes into the Discord?
Like when the show's over forever, or like when show?
When it
well, that
ends,
could be very soon.
Yeah.
No,
it's going.
Unless they move into the Discord.
Do it. If you're not a diehard, there's a reason. If you want to keep complaining or talk about Joe Pavelski.
The chat going after
when the show's over, the channel goes off and they can't tweet in this thing anymore.
I believe so. But you can always.
So you don't really know.
I gotta say, before
you just said you believe
before we go real quick, and this is pretty awesome what we're doing here. I only say that because when I was watching Stars games growing up, all I wanted when something happened was to just go off in a chat with someone else that agreed with me. Whether it was a bad thing or excited about the game, seeing this, I love you guys. That's all.
I think Dustin's had another drink or two because he just sent another super chat.
I saw he was still standing last I checked. I don't know why you're standing. It's late at night. Sit
Dustin
down.
fires off a Ludwig 99 cup here. Pavelski. They're just trying to keep the bell going.
Oh, I forgot I had the physical bell here too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one too. Sometimes you muffle it by grabbing the. Yeah, let's leave it at that.
I muffle it by wrapping my fingers around.
We've got another one.
Oh, come on.
They don't want us to leave. They don't want us to leave.
Bing
I Love
bang.
Misty, 1985. A Pavelski and Ludwig. Excuse me. Pardon me, frog in the throat. I hope Joe Pavelski is enjoying retirement, playing golf, and mentoring Wyatt Johnston. I just miss him on the ice, even though he was a shell of his own self at the end of the playoffs last season. Yeah. We miss him all. We all love Joe Pavelski.
I think it's Wyatt Johnson.
Johnson.
Plays with Jason Robinson.
Johnston.
And Logan Stankonen.
T Farmer, I appreciate your chat, but I am not repeating that on the air. Thank you very much for joining us.
I'll probably do it.
Probably not.
Is it? I'll read it.
Don't stop the show.
Don't let Luds.
They want us to keep going.
Technically, if you guys keep sending super chats, we have to keep reading them.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Super chats though, not chats.
We are off tomorrow. We do not have a show tomorrow.
Now you know why it's getting extended tomorrow at about what? 1 p.m. right when we wake up, maybe.
You think so?
It would be appropriate after tonight, right? I don't know. Is that a thing Nil does? Does he give an extension after a huge game? Like, Owen and I are Patriots fans. Bill Belichick was notorious for, like, if a guard had a good block on, like, a good pull where he wiped out, like, 4 defensemen, he'd have the contract waiting for him on the sideline. I don't know if Nil is like that at all, but
I don't think that we're going to have a contract extension signed tomorrow, especially with the team.
They're flying back
tomorrow from Vegas.
Nil doesn't get Wi-Fi on the plane.
Luds?
He doesn't buy it.
Yeah.
We have a day off
doesn't upgrade.
Today.
Frugal.
I got to be on the ice tomorrow. I don't got no day off.
Okay, well, we have a day off from the show.
I'm on the ice tomorrow, too.
Huh?
I said I'm on the ice tomorrow, too. Little dangles.
Why are you whispering?
Little chip
Everybody
it off the
can
board.
hear you.
I'm whispering into the microphone.
We will have a normal show on Thursday, 2 o'clock Central Time. And then, of course, Friday and Sunday, we have games. Programming note, Friday against the Vancouver Canucks should be a fun one because of the debacle that continues to bear fruit in the hockey media landscape in Vancouver. Sunday, you're not going to have the full Craig Ludwig experience because it's alumni game time.
We got another one.
We will play against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Sean will be here. Sam will be reporting. And I believe Luddy will be available for our pregame show, but he will be on the ice playing in the All-Stars alumni game. Both teams will be Dallas Stars alumni.
If it times out well, I may be able to get an interview with Luds.
You can come down on the bench.
You absolutely should.
Post-game on our show.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Get his analysis on the alumni game so far.
How could that? Oh, yeah, but
I don't know how long your alumni game is, but
you can come down. We're going to be playing regardless.
I'll just call you out into the tunnel.
Come down, sit on the bench.
Yeah.
All right.
All you got to do, Sam.
That's all they need. Sam coaching the alumni.
You know what I'm going to sell them?
Get it to the boards. Get it to the boards and chip it out.
What you need to do is to see if Abby is available for Sunday, and she can come with better equipment and a microphone.
Yes, we
can
interview.
And then you guys can do your interviews and have some fun on our post-game show.
Lud's mic'd up during the alumni game.
Oh, that would be the best thing in the whole world.
We would have to
Can we air that?
Yeah, not live.
No, it'd be censored.
We would have to go through the footage and then.
When did mic'd up start being a thing? They didn't have that when you were playing, right?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You had to put a big cassette recorder right here.
Walkman.
After every shift, they'd have to have you take it out and flip it over.
Charge it.
Replace the batteries.
We do have to read.
Now I just replaced.
Oh, we got a super chat.
Tyler HK93, a little Heiskanen. Can't wait for 4 to win the Conn Smythe in the Western Conference Final. That's not right.
It's not possible.
You have to win the Conn Smythe in the Stanley Cup Final.
But I love it. I love it anyway.
I love Misty 1985. Just making it rain. Little Ludwig. Can we stop by the bench of the alumni game to say hi?
Absolutely.
T Farmer, I know I can't ignore the super chats. Oh my God, they don't want us to leave. They don't want us to go home. There's another one. It's Ardell this time. Anyway.
Can somebody go upstairs and grab some beer out of the fridge?
Is it Ardell? Finally?
I mean,
I didn't eat dinner.
Probably grab some Herman Marshall. Maybe I could stock off
Chinese food. I could use some bad Chinese food. You have any?
Ardell, a little Smith and Ben. Luds is wearing these shin pads in the alumni game. Oh, no. Is that a question mark? He wants to know, are you or you're not?
No more wind resistance.
Those are hung. Those are hung up for good.
Let me ask you this. You made your living in the NHL eating pucks. Do you still block shots in an alumni game?
Oh yeah.
Because you can't help it, right?
You can't. You try not to, but and guys feel bad about it, and I'm like, don't. It's a natural thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I was going to say,
getting out of the way of shots
to do
a skill.
Yeah.
It took me many years to learn how to get out of the way of shots.
T Farmer, a little DeSmith 99. By the way, I just want to know how long we can stay here.
If somebody goes up and gets beer, I'll be here all night.
I have about 2.5 more minutes before I have to go to the bathroom.
At this point, I've accepted that I'm going to be up till like 4 a.m. tonight.
Why?
Day off tomorrow.
What's the difference?
Because I have to do post-production work.
Me and you were playing Pokemon.
So that you keep your job. That's the difference.
Are you guys going to play Pokemon together
tomorrow? Play some Pokemon tomorrow.
I don't have the capability to play Pokemon.
You have to unmute the chat when I text you, though, so you can get on an off day. I know that hurts you.
Only you, Sam, can make that sound creepy.
Well, Sam knows where I live, so if Wyatt gets extended tomorrow, Sam's going to have to come knock on my door.
I do know where Don is.
They just don't want us
There's
to go
more.
home.
I have to go to the bathroom.
You can go for a second. We got another super chat.
It's too fun, though.
Talk hockey with me. A little DeSmith and 99, which
this is Jay Crilly's burner, by the way.
Who?
This is Jay Crilly's hockey burner account.
Thank you, Jordan. This is my favorite Dallas Stars show.
John, we have
Y'all
Ardell.
rock.
What happened, Sam?
Ardell is calling us up on his.
Oh, he is.
He
chat.
did.
I have to search for it.
I found it. It's okay. It's just one of the more recent ones. So Ardell sent a super chat yesterday.
There it is.
That he wanted to know. Sidor/Pavelski. How about Luds uses his contact list to let John book some guests during the Four Nations break?
We are working on that. We're working on booking some. Are we keeping you awake over here?
No, I'm interested.
Also, ALLCITY's one of these new age companies where the hosts have to do this crap themselves. So
yes, we do.
Which, to be fair, I think you guys have booked every guest for
our
show.
We have.
Yes.
That used to not be the case at my old gig. So.
We have some good ones in the bag. I don't know. In the queue. How's that? Yes.
Sam?
Coming down the pipeline.
Yes.
Cross your legs.
Perkle.
Because we got another one.
Oh man.
You can't go to the bathroom.
I thought you were telling me my crotch was on the
we have more than one.
Keep Gordon Lightfoot. Chats till Sam pees himself on the set. Let's go.
Russell Lightfoot just sent in a DeSmith 99 cup here. I'm good till 7 a.m. LOL.
Yeah, he's working.
And then T Farmer sent one in that said, a little $4.99, so a Heiskanen 99.
Bing bang.
I did a hat trick for Wyatt.
Beauty.
T Farmer's got a sitter till 3, so he's good.
By the way, that was Russell's first super chat.
I don't have a small bladder, by the way. I drank
first
4 of these seltzers.
Crack the seal.
Thank you very much, Russell. All right. We're going home. Big win tonight.
Good night, everybody.
Of fun. Thank you, everybody, for your super chats. 2 o'clock on Thursday, Stars podcast here on DLS. Enjoy your rest of your Wednesday. Good night, everyone.
We all silly like the mayor.